Hey folks out there in Hudson Valley Poorland, my name is Todd, and normally we have a segment called Let's Ask Todd. But today we're with Dave Holm of Apex Brewing, so actually we're going to turn the tide and ask Dave. So Dave, here's the question, and people want to know, what makes a sour a sour? Sours are a big beer these days, right? I mean, a lot of people love them, but nobody really knows what makes a sour sour. So if you could tell us, in your words, what makes a sour?
pH.
Okay.
But seriously, it's pH that's driven usually by microorganisms, right? So there's a couple ways we can do it. There's the dirty beer way, which is actually like the micro-like organisms go into the fermenter.
So they use like dirt to throw into the fermenter?
No. Like, it's basically like, you now have tanks that have been sullied by microorganisms. So basically all of those parts then need to be kind of like quarantined, so to speak, so that if you have any clean beer that isn't like, microbiology, not the same kind of like, stuff, it won't infect any of those other pieces. So
it sounds like bad things are what really makes a sour a sour.
Well, but then there's also like your lacto beers, right? So like, you do a kettle sour, you tend to use basically, lacto organisms. And then what you do is you basically keep it at a set temperature for, 12 to however many hours when you hit your right pH. And then once it hits that number, you say, cool, I've hit my number. And then you boil off those cultures and basically kill them with heat. So that's your kettle souring kind of methodology. And then the most modern way that's come up of recently is there's this series of yeasts that are coming out of a variety of manufacturers. But
so it sounds like it would be post-kettle, right?
So this is post-kettle, and it's just a single shot, or double shot yeast, depending on which manufacturer you get it from. But it's basically a clean beer method of doing it in one shot with one product. The most kind of famous one is Lallemand, has a yeast called Philly Sour, and it takes basically a normal CIP kind of process to clean up after that, as opposed to other organisms. And that kind of delivers a pretty clean, but somewhat kind of one layered sour as opposed to others. You can push the envelope with that a little bit by adding sucrose to it. Will actually pump a little bit more of the tropical fruit notes, as well as that base sour level. But it's a good way to create a pretty bright, clean, crisp sour. And that yeast, in a funny turn of events, was found on a dogwood tree in a graveyard in Philadelphia.
How about that? So lactobacillus is used, and Brettanomyces.
Yep.
Yeah,
and that's fermenticide.
Am I pronouncing that even correctly? Maybe. Brettanomyces, maybe. But I know the industry knows it basically as Brett. Just makes it more simple. Yeah. So let's talk about you. Do you have any thoughts about making a sour here?
So we've made a sour here before. It's called Ghost Points. We actually wound up using the Philly Sour method of it, and created a nice, bright, clean, crisp base sour. And then we would add things like either a black cherry fruit puree to it, or one of the favorites was also cassis, or black currant.
Cassis.
So, yeah,
sweetness. So there you have it. Let's ask Dave, which is the guest today, how is a sour a sour? And there you have it. And come out and have yourself a sour anywhere here in the Hudson Valley, because there are a lot